Here's a little something for your weekend. Hey everyone, it's Rob Litton here from drumstheword.com. It's been a while since I've been on YouTube and given you guys a completely free lesson, so that's what I want to do today. I'm going to show you how to play one of my all-time favourite songs, or certainly two of my favourite drum fills and the main drum beat from the song Ecstatic by Foo Fighters, drummed by the genius that is Dave Grohl. And in fact, this whole album the Foo Fighters did was just brilliant from start to finish. I was reminded of that by a suggestion over on my Facebook page. One of my members suggested this song as a free lesson or as a transcription. And I jumped up on it. I love this whole album. I was reminded just how great this whole album is, but especially this song. It's just really, really cool. And what I've got for you is the free PDF as well. So you can go to my website. There's a link beneath this video. You can have it printed out in front of you, so you can go to your practice room with it out away from this video and practice it yourself. Like I said, we've got two drum fills, but we're going to start with the main drum beat that occurs throughout the song. And what I've got here is the first 4 bars that occur when the drum beat comes in at 42 seconds. And the first 4 bars contain really all the variations of the toms that we hear in the song. The first bar is sort of the most different to the other bars because it's almost like Dave Grohl is settling into the drum beat. He finds the groove after the first bar. And most drummers can probably relate to that when you start a song. What was that amazing bass drum pattern I was playing last band practice or last time on stage? So Dave sort of settles into the drum groove around bar 2. This bar starts with the crash cymbal on beat 1. And we just get simply 1 and 2 into a flammed snare drum on beat 2. Then we get this linear pattern that occurs between the bass drum and the toms. And classic Dave Grohl, he's got his 2 toms tuned really, really low. They sound very similar to each other. So it was quite hard for me to work out exactly what toms he's hitting. So if you disagree with my orchestration suggestion, then feel free to move the hands around different combinations of toms if you want to. If it sounds better to you, then go for that. I've got the rhythm correct for you, but what's debatable is whether he's moving around the toms quite in this manner. And you'll see what I mean as I go through the different variations. I'll talk about alternatives. So after that flam on the snare drum on beat 2, we've got this linear style pattern that occurs from the bass drum and the toms. Starting on the and of beat 2, we get a bass drum and then a 3E up here on the high tom. Like I said, you can use the floor tom if you liked. And a 3E flows into the floor tom on the and, a 3E and then a bass drum on the of beat 3, which then flows into the flam snare drum on beat 4. So we actually get this in a row, and a 3E and a 4. And it's debatable whether he actually comes in on the we might come in on the and 2 and 3. So we might play that first tom with the bass drum on the and 2, but I can't hear it on the recording. It's not so fast, 101 BPM, that you can't come in with the left hand on the smoothly, as I'll show you. It's not so fast you can't do that. So if you want to play an extra tom on the and just to make it more comfortable for you, so you start with the right hand, then that's absolutely fine. That's going to sound just as good. And 3E and 4 instead of and 3E and 4. But I recommend you try and practice the linear style first, and if you find it too hard, go back to playing with the right hand on the and. He might also be playing and 3E and, but I really doubt it. It'd be more obvious to hear on the recording. It sounds like the first 3 notes are on the 1 tom, and then he goes to a lower tom for the and a beat 3. And knowing Dave with his setup, he would have had just 2 toms in the studio, I'm sure. Just a massive high tom and a massive floor tom. So he would have been playing between 2 toms. So, from the beginning of that bar again, 1 and 2 and a 3E and a 4. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and a 3E and a 4. Then each bar is rolled off or rounded off with this and a 1. It could be and a 1 just on one floor tom, but I'm pretty sure I hear the melody da da dum. So we get this up down or down up down melody on the tom. So I think he plays and a 1, but it could be and a 1, and of course you can feel free to use whatever variation you like. So it's hard to loop this bar because we don't get and a 1. If I loop the first one, we get and a 1. So let me just put that bar for you once. And then let's go on to the second bar, which is more comfortable for me to loop because it doesn't, it doesn't start with a crash cymbal. So you can see on the second bar, we got exactly the same idea really, except it starts with that first note on the floor tom, which is followed through from the. So we get 1 and 2. By the way, you could also ride on the floor tom. You could play 1 and 2, give those two bass drums more power. But again, I don't hear the tom on the and of beat 1. I think he's just playing 1 and 2. But feel free to play 1 and 2 if you like. So we get 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4. And this is where I was talking about where Dave sort of settles into the drum beat. He finds the groove he came up with. Because what he does here is he plays exactly the same ending as the previous bar, 4 and a, but we put a bass drum in between on the E of 4. 4 E and a. So with the bass drum on the of 3, we get a 4 E and a. So the whole bar slowly, I'm running out of breath from talking too fast. 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And this one we can loop round a few times. 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E. By the way, you could play or at the end of the bar. I accidentally did that. I didn't mean to do that. It's just if I was grooving with my band and playing along with the song, I wouldn't stop after doing that. I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah, let's try and stick with what I've written. That's a lot of fun, isn't it? That's just so big and Tommy. I do love that drum beat. So then on to the second line, and the next two bars are identical, but it shows you the variation that Dave does. It's exactly the same as our previous bar, except we don't come in with the high tom on the of beat 2 after that bass drum on the and of 2. We come in on the downbeat of beat 3 instead, so we get a 3 E and instead of a 3 E and, it's 3 E and. So slowly, 1 and 2 and 3 E and. So we're coming down on the downbeat, 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4. Then the rest of the bar is just played exactly the same, 4 E and a. So we get 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E. So now we've got our two variations that occur, and Dave sort of improvises a little bit and mixes the two up. So let's put those two bars together. Bars 2 and 3. 4 we can skip over because it's the same as bar 3. So bars 2 and 3 we get. And that's all you need for the whole song, really. Those two variations played around. So let's now go on to our first drum fill, which occurs at 1 minute 34. The bar starts, or the drum fill starts at the end of the bar. So that's why it's 2 bars long. It's not really, it's just 1 bar long, but Dave comes into the drum fill at the end of the drum groove. So we get 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E. It's like the same as we had before, but instead of playing and a 1, we're going to start the drum fill with and another flam. So we get 4 E and a, black boom, and then for the actual drum fill bar, I guess, 1 E and a, right, left, right, bass. Another linear pattern. I love this linear stuff. Beat 2, 2 E, and then we get a snare drum roll, and a 3 E and a. So and a 3 E and it could be floor tom instead. He could also be playing and 3 E and playing the 2 bass drums underneath and but I don't think he is. I think he's just playing the 1 bass drum on the and 3 E and then the bar ends with 4 E and then we go into the bridge. So slowly, the 2 bars together, and I'll save my breath now and just play it slowly without counting. And with the counting, 1 and 2 and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. And sort of speed it up a bit. If you've got a high-pitched tom, you might want to play that 1 tom hit on the floor tom because it gives it a bit more power. So let's do that. That's pretty much speed, isn't it? Into that section. So that's that drum bit fill. The next drum fill is my favourite from the whole song because it involves some awesome bass drum work, groups of 3 with the bass drum in hand. So it's exactly the same drum beat that leads us in, and it starts the same. 4 E and at the end of the groove, we get 4 E and, but instead of playing 1 E and, the previous drum fill, we get 2 bass drums at the end and a 1. So we get a group of 3 there, flam, bass, bass, and then another group of 3, flam, bass, bass, but starting on the E of beat 1. So it goes over the beat. So for beat 4 to beat 1, 4 E and a 1 E and Then we go back to beat 2, 2 E, so just 1 bass drum now, and then and 3 E and so that lovely little bass drum on the before the flam again, and 3 E and then 4 E and same ending as we had for the first drum fill. So slowly, the 2 bars. Isn't that cool? Oh, I just love that so much. So we've got those 2 drum fills. And so I hope you have a lot of fun with that. Don't forget to download the free PDF from my website. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. And come over to my Facebook page and say hi. That's also a great place to make song suggestions. I can't obviously do all the song suggestions I get, but it's the best place to ask me. I'm always on Facebook, so I can respond to you pretty quickly. You'll find a link for my Facebook page beneath this video as well. Yeah, you might also want to consider signing up to my website where you get access to hundreds of full video song lessons. I teach you a song from start to finish, just like this lesson, but obviously the whole song. You get the full PDF drum chart, and it's currently $97 for a year subscription. Instant online access to something like 280 full song lessons now, and growing. And over the year of your subscription, you also gain instant online access to all the new lessons I upload. And I give you loads of little freebies, hundreds of videos as a little thank you for signing up, including 3 ebooks I wrote years ago, containing hundreds of famous fills, beats and solos. So I think it's a real bargain, but if you've got any questions, feel free to email me, rob@drumstheword.com. Until next time, have a great weekend, twiddle pip, and happy drumming to you.